Your first act, one of my favorites, worked together many times, folks. A big hand for Ashley Pernak!
Hello! So, I've been thinking, you guys, I might get another tattoo. Right? Or maybe I'll get bangs. Oh, no, wait, or maybe what I really need is just more therapy. Yeah. I am legitimately in therapy, like for real therapy, not just listening to the 10-minute version of All Too Well on repeat until my neighbors call in a wellness check. And did you guys know that therapy isn't something you can ace? Like, I go in with my thought records filled out perfectly, and all I leave with are healthy coping mechanisms? It's like, excuse me, sir, where are my gold stars? And why am I in therapy, you might ask? Well, I have bipolar 2, GAD, SAD, PTSD, and lupus. And I know that sounds less like a list of valid disorders and more like a can of Alpha-Getty got drunk while watching House. But here we are. I recently was dealing with agoraphobia, which is a disease characterized by an intense feeling that strangers are going to hurt you and that outside is dangerous. And with therapy, despite the lack of gold stars, I overcame this in March of 2020. You know, just in time for the world to tell me that strangers are going to hurt me and outside is dangerous. I also have lupus, which means that the only place I'm a regular at is the COVID testing center. And we all know that those COVID tests are more like pap smears administered nasally. So that is not a social outing. Lupus, I find, is kind of like the tequila of autoimmune disorders. You know, like it's gonna mess you up. But it's unique in every situation. Like with me, I found that between the aches and pains caused by my lupus, and the low-grade fever caused by my lupus, and the persistent dry cough caused by the weed they give me to treat my lupus, I've spent the last 18 months shouting, "It's cannabis, not COVID!" It's so awkward when you pick up your kid at school. Another common symptom is chronic fatigue. And now I'm gonna let you in on a secret. That's not actually caused by lupus. That one is caused by Sharon in accounting, asking you if you've tried her essential oils. To stay healthy, I have to do a lot of hard work. I have to avoid things like alcohol and the sun and spicy food after midnight. So basically, I am a dorky gremlin. And that makes dating super tricky. Because even if you can get a date, you gotta then tell them 1 second, you're like, "Hey man, I am into choking and foot stuff," right? And then the next minute you are mid-coitus dealing with an arthritic hip. Not such a great move, but it works sometimes. I found that living through a pandemic that is trying its very best to kill me has been very stressful. But there have been a lot of positive moments. For example, social distancing. Like, yes, absolutely continue to stay 6 feet the hell away from me. Yes. Obviously, I'm single. And that could be because my type is kind of like 8 to 10 red flags in a tight t-shirt. You know? It's not that I have bad taste in relationships. It's just that if I've ever been interested in you romantically, it might be time for you to reevaluate your life choices. I mean, being alone only really sucks when I forget to buy batteries. And then my vibrator dies mid-sesh. Because then I gotta go at it all handcrafted style. Like I'm Amish or something. And you guys, my hip is not the only arthritic body part. Yeah. That's when I need someone to remind me to buy batteries. I'm not afraid of dying alone. That is a luxury that people who have things like savings accounts and retirement plans can afford. Me, I am going to die surrounded by files and my boss in my ear saying, "Ugh, Ashley, now is not the time for a nap." I mean, you'd think that being queer, I would have a number of options for dating, right? But really, I am just equally as terrible with all genders. More of a pan-rejectional, if you will. I mean, people ask me all the time, what was it like coming out? And I have to say, it was about as disappointing as the last season of Game of Thrones. Yeah, because my sister was all like, "Yeah, I know." And my best friend was all like, "Yeah, I know." And the really hot girl at the bar was all like, "Yeah, I'm straight." Yeah. People also ask me what the biggest difference between the genders is. And it's not in how they fight. It's not in how they love. It's not even in how they pee. It is in the quality of nudes they send. The nudes I get from women are practically an art form. The nudes I get from men are grainy and zoomed in. And quite frankly, you guys, they are terribly lit. You should invest in a ring light. I mean, if y'all want to impress me, just send me a picture of your mattress on an actual bed frame. I can't judge. I really can't judge. My last date was so bad that afterwards, I literally Googled if you have to be Catholic to join a nunnery. Turns out, by the way, you do. So even God swiped left on me. And like, my ex red flag, he recently released the nude photos I had sent him. No. Yeah, and it was an effort to send those because of the whole lupus arthritic hip situation. And I gotta say, when I found out, part of me was like, oh, those photos I took when I was in the best shape of my life. Why did he not tag me in those first? Oh, like, literally the only downside to this whole situation, I mean, I got my nudes back, it was great. The only downside to this situation was explaining the concept of sending nude photos to my mother. I had to sit her down and be like, "Mom, okay, in modern dating, there are 3 stages. There is trauma bonding, sending nudes, breaking up because one of you is afraid of commitment." That's just how it goes. My mom took a really, really long pause and then looked at me and said, "Okay, sweetie, just please tell me you put your mattress on an actual bed frame first." Thank you guys so much for supporting tonight. Have a wonderful evening.
Ashley Perna, there she goes. Great stuff. Ashley, my ex-girlfriend, Ashley Perna. I didn't know she was going to bring